All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work of truth, sincerity. And we're going to jump right into the lesson. This is Romans 8 and 7. It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So the carnal mind is a mind that's basically still attached to this world. In the carnal mind, or the carnal way of thinking, let's get that word carnal. That's what's promoted, heavily exalted to Jake, man. It says the sensuous nature of man, the animal nature. So basically they want you to act like animals, man. They want you to have the low vibration of an animal. It says the sensuous nature of man, the animal, without any suggestion of depravity. The animal nature with cravings which incite to sin. The physical nature of man suffering. So basically, a mind state of depravity. The fruits or the works of the flesh. And it says here the carnal mind is enmity, or it's against the Most High. For it's not subject to law Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So, if you're not in this truth and you're not following the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your abilities, or you trying to sway both ways and appease both things, basically your spiritual and natural man, or carnal man, because we all have a carnal side to us. But through experience and wisdom and knowledge and discernment, you are to try to curb that carnal mind to the best of your ability, and work on the fruits of the Spirit. Because we're in a time right now where the Lord is cementing, He's sealing that which belongs to Him. And that which not belongs to Him, the Lord is doing away with. Or that's not on the same program or spiritual mind state as the rest of the elect, or the body as a whole. The body is going to be all of the same accord. So that's why that's one of the reasons Yahweh said the right hand offending. You're supposed to cut it off. Your eye offending, you're supposed to pluck it out. Those things that are not fit for the body, they gotta go. So those that dwell in the carnal mind, hey, the Lord's gonna cast them out. So this is told to us as a warning of how we're supposed to be. It says Romans 8 and 8, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. But you are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. Now, any man have not the Spirit of Yahweh Shai or Meshiach, he is none of his. And so see that? So that person doesn't belong in the body. If that person doesn't have the Spirit, then that individual doesn't belong in the body. And the Lord is He's doing away with those that don't belong in the body. We have an understanding that this is a supernatural thing that's happening upon the earth. The gathering of men under the banner of the truth. This is not of our accord. This is a supernatural phenomena, so to speak, that's occurring on the planet Earth right now. And the words of the Bible, they're written for us in this time and age. They are directly written for us. They're written directly for the elect. And you got to have faith to believe that. And it says, and if Meshiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin. The Spirit is life because of righteousness. And righteousness is a word that people throw around, but they don't understand what it means, man. This is the word righteousness, and it says, in a broad sense, state of him who is ought to be righteousness, the condition acceptable to Yahweh. So what's acceptable to Yahweh, man? Well, number one is obedience. There's also sincerity and meekness, and there's all scriptures that can back that up. It goes to Psalms, the first chapter. It shows you what's acceptable to Yahweh, the blessed man. This is the psalm of the blessed man. Number one, he separates himself. Psalm 101, blessed the man that walks not the counsel of the godly, nor stands the way of sin, nor sitteth and sees scornful. He separates himself, man, from those that are not like him. It says that he walketh not in the counsel, he standeth not in the way, he sitteth not in the seat. He don't be around them, man. So that's one of the ways that you can prevent yourself from falling into carnality, is separating yourself from individuals. It says, but delight is in the law of the Lord. The law does he meditate day and night. This is the truth, the word. You notice our brothers like to call themselves Malaks or Hey King and not, Malak. Well, what's one of the conditions of being a king? Well, one of the conditions where he was supposed to read the law every day. Let me see if I can find that. So this is Deuteronomy 17th chapter, and I will start at verse 14. It says, when thou art coming to the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him a king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee, that thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. And it says, but he should not multiply horse himself, nor call the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horse, for as much the Lord has said unto you, he shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. They shall be gladly multiplied to himself silver and gold. So part of the requirements or the conduct of being a king is you got to be selfless, man. You can't be what says that he was supposed to multiply wives for himself. Why? Because the women are a distraction, and women appeal to your flesh. His focus was to be on rulership and right decisions. And then shall be when he sits upon the throne of his kingdom, he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests and the Levites. And it shall be with him, he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his power, to keep all the words of law and the statutes to do them. That his heart not be lifted above of brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand, to the left, to the end, that he prolong his days in the kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. So that was the point I wanted to get right there. One of the requirements or required behaviors of being a king was he was to read the law every day. So when brothers call themselves Malaks, call each other Malaks or kings, that's, hey, well, the king is a heavy office. And the scripture says in, I think it's in the Apocrypha, a king is supposed to love righteousness. Let's get that in I think it's Sirach or Wisdom of Solomon. It says, love righteousness, ye to be judges of the earth. See that? So a king supposed to, or a ruler, or a man set up to rule by the Lord, he's supposed to love righteousness. It says, love righteousness, ye to be judges of the earth, thinking of the Lord with a good heart or mind, and a simplicity of heart seek him. So a judge is supposed to love righteousness and seek the Lord. So that's just bringing up a point there. Let's go back to Romans. Or get to a blessed man. See, so that's part of the behavior patterns of a blessed man. But the light is in the law of the Lord. Law does he meditate day and night. And then it speaks of prosperity. It said, whatsoever, the end of verse 3, and whatsoever he do, he shall prosper, because he's making all the right decisions. Say, for the Lord knows, go jump down to 6, for the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. And so going back to Romans, says the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. It's not subject to law, indeed it can be. So they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. It's a lot, but we ran down. You know what pleases the Most High? And what pleases the Most High is being in the spirit. Let's go to verse 7 and 5. This is not what I wanted. Yeah, this is what I wanted. It says Romans 7 and 5. So for we were in the flesh, and that carnal mind, the motions of sins, which were by the law did work on our members to bring forth fruit unto death. So sin, or the carnal mind, brought fruit unto death. Nasalak. So the carnal mind brings forth fruit unto death, but the spiritual mind brings forth fruit unto life. You know, and Yahweh Shai warned about being lukewarm. That's what Revelations, the 3rd chapter. And he also warned about, let's well go ahead and let's get Matthew 12 and 30. This is Matthew 12 and 30, and it says, he that is not with me is against me, and he that is not with me is scattered abroad. So yeah, so what path or what mentality or spirit was Yahweh Shai in? He was in a spiritual mind state. He was not in a carnal mind state. So to be with Yahweh Shai is to be in a spiritual mind state. To be against him is to be in a carnal mind state. As he read in Romans 8 chapter, the carnal mind is enmity. It's against the Most High, or an enemy against the Most High. Let's go to Revelations 3:15, and that's reinstated again. Revelations 3:15, it says, I know that works near cold and hot, or that were cold or hot. So then because thou art lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee on my mouth. Because you those are the individuals that try to serve two masters. You know, Scripture talk about serving two masters, you will hate one and love the other. So let's go ahead and get that, man. Matthew 6 and 24. It says, no man can serve two masters, for he will hate the one and love the other. So you're either going to hate the fact that you're denying yourself for being in the truth and being spiritual, deny yourself for carnal things or worldly things, but you're going to desire you're going to hate it. You're going to hate the truth if you desire carnal things. Or else he will hold to one and despise the other. See that? You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. It says no man can serve two masters. You hate the one and love the other. So you're trying to serve two masters, because something has to be your master. Either you give in and bow down to the flesh, or you give in and bow down to the spirit. But if you're trying to serve both, Scripture says you're going to hate one and despise the other. And one leads to life and one leads to death. You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. And Mammon is basically another word of saying, basically the world. Mammon, treasure, riches, was personified and opposed to Yahweh. And we just read in Romans that the carnal mind is enmity to the Most High, or opposed to the Most High. So Mammon can be looked at as the carnal mind as well. So we're in a time where the line is drawn in the sand. And you really gotta examine yourself if you've been born again, if you're that new man, while you're still holding on to old habits and mentalities that you had in the world, or even pleasures or hobbies that you had in the world that are not beneficial to you in your work in the ministry. These things that you have to examine yourself, every day. Always remember the angels are watching, they're reporting. They're reporting what you do. They're reporting your actions, man. They're reporting your works. And Yahweh Shai is coming soon to get every man according to his works. He's going to reward every man. So then the Scripture says to strive for the penny. strive for the crown, the uncorruptible crown. Let's go ahead and get that. Incorruptible. I don't know if I don't spell that. Oh, there you go. It says verse 29:12. First, well, I'll start at verse 24. 1 Corinthians 9:24 says, know ye not that they which run in the race run all, but one receiveth the prize to run that ye may obtain. So we are in a race, man. Well, first of all, we're in a race to get the hell out of here. And part of that race is putting forth effort to receive the prize. What's the prize, man? The prize is, well, first and foremost, it's mercy. But the scripture talk about Yahweh Shai putting crowns on the heads of the elect, so that run that ye may obtain. So have that mentality, man, to receive the prize. In the worlds of gangs and criminal organizations and what they have out here, you're respected by the amount of work you put in, the amount of work you put in for the individual organization, whether it be gang or criminal organization or whatever it is. You receive respect by the amount of work you put in. That's why they call it putting in work. Well, the same way with this truth, man. The more the work you put in is judged by the Lord. So that's why Paul said, run that ye may receive the prize. And every man that strives for the mastery is tempered in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible. So we're trying to gain an incorruptible crown. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight as not the one that beats the air. Say, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. See the carnalism. That's by any means when I should preach to other, my soul should be a castaway. So you can't be, talking all this mess, all this righteousness and rebuke, to Esau on the 2/3, and you ain't got your shit together. The Lord don't like that, man. We got to truly represent and be about what we speak about. And those men that aren't, they're being exposed, man. They're being exposed for their hypocrisy. And that's the worst thing you can be in life, is a hypocrite. Because basically means you're fake. Hypocrites are I think the scripture in Job that so the hypocrite shall stand before the Lord. And we see men that were hypocrites. They spoke a good game of brotherhood and this, that, the other, and believe in the Lord, but their actions prove otherwise, and that's why the Lord cast them out. Anybody can easily fall into that trap of hypocrisy. And the easiest way that's done is by not staying in the Word. Not meditating the law day and night. Because you got to understand that the responsibility that we have been given. We are given a responsibility to teach this Word. And with that comes the responsibility to obedience to it. But with that being said, a real quick lesson, most I wouldn't hope to edify, that give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Brothers, keep on pushing. Shalom.